An Olive Grove in Ends is a novel about how one man navigates gang culture and drugs in an estate near Bristol. And when I say that, you're probably automatically thinking that this is going to be an incredibly violent novel. It feels like it could be very red flag waving, macho, Godfather-esque sort of novel, and it is absolutely not that novel. That's not to say that violence isn't an important or even a key factor to this novel. That would just be an inaccurate depiction of these characters. But Moses McKenzie doesn't glorify the violence. He doesn't include the gory detail. Violence is still an important part of this novel, but it doesn't take up much page space. What is important about the violence in this novel is that the fear it creates, the disgust it creates, the pressures and the stresses it causes, the dehumanization and our characters' responses to it. It's important to know that the violence is ever present, even when nobody is being hit. Shannon Hughes is a member of the infamous Hughes family, and along with his fiercely loyal cousin Cuba, he starts a business selling drugs. But he dreams of escape with his girlfriend Shona. And on the cusp of leaving the drug world forever, Shannon has an altercation with a rival gang, happening on the streets nearby a local church. If Shannon didn't kill the man, Cuba would no doubt be dead, and Shannon feels pretty safe after killing the man. Those who witnessed the killing obey the street rule of silence. Grasses and snitches are destined to die. McKenzie has made things really hard for himself because for the rest of the novel to work, you need to empathize with Shannon. But he makes it even harder because he gives Shannon the task of narrating the story. And Shannon is not a reliable narrator. He is always telling you his side of things, but never painting it as black and white as you would like. But that really is the triumph of this novel because you do empathize with him. You do understand him. Shannon's own father was a preacher, but having got Shannon's mother pregnant, he left. Shona's father is also a preacher, and religion plays such an important role in this community. But it doesn't have to be Christian. It can be Islam or even Rasta. Shona wants to convert Shannon to Christianity, or really any religion. The role of religion in this novel is so pivotal, and I really must applaud McKenzie for his depiction of it, because it would be so easy for him to make this novel preachy or to overly criticize its role and paint it as negative. But when you are forgotten about, when you are left to rot, when you do not have a way out, religion offers you a path that isn't selling drugs, that isn't murdering rival crews. But that doesn't mean that it isn't complex in itself. So often, religion is painted as sectarian violence, pedos, and witch burning, or salvation, forgiveness, heaven, and charity. And it's just nice to have an author paint a respectful picture with shades of grey, to understand the two-sidedness, to understand that religion is not a sentient being. McKenzie builds up a picture of this community. Conflicting motivations and pressures are placed upon Shannon. Things like, must he be loyal to his cousin, his blood, his best friend, when, in actual fact, Cuba is a cold-blooded murderer? Or should he tell Shona what he has done? Should he lie to her? He feels like whatever he does, he will lose her. And what about Shona's dad? Does he actually want the two together? What father would want their daughter to be involved with a man like Shannon? As he builds this picture, we start to understand the pressure on these young men. We understand how there's not a lot to offer to them. We understand why there is such a big gang violence problem in our society. We understand that gang violence is a product of the system. McKenzie shows a detailed understanding of the issues, and I cannot help but to compare him to James Baldwin. And I would really recommend reading this novel in conjunction with If Beale Street Could Talk. Few authors warrant comparison to Baldwin, so it should come as no surprise that this novel is a 5-star read. If you like this book, maybe have a look at my recommendation for the Miles Franklin award-winning novel Bodies of Light by Jennifer Down. Just click over here. Make sure you like this video, and if you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing. Bye-bye.